So here's a call that I get a lot. There's a customer had a mound, dirt mound with trees on it. Get out of the shadow here. And they had the trees removed. Now they're left with this big pile of dirt. And they need it hauled away. So surprisingly, I get this call quite a bit. Never made a video of it, so here you go. Probably won't be very exciting, but still kind of neat to see the fast motion of how this, getting this dirt out of here and getting the area leveled off so they can get it back to grass. There you go. Thanks for watching. All right, so I got about 6-7 yards of dirt in my truck, and you can see there was two trees here, 2 pine trees. There's one stump there, another one here. You can see all the big roots. That was a customer kind of warned me of that. He said there's gonna be some big roots in there. You know, the tree company came out and ground the stump, but obviously there's all these roots buried in the mound. I've had that happen many times where people think, oh, it's just a pile of dirt, and there's lots of roots in there, which I knew that already. So anyways, I'm gonna put this I put my get over on this side so you can see it better. This is a stump bucket made by Blue Diamond. This thing will dig out anything. I dug out probably a 2 to 3 foot round stump, silver maple stump at my house. It took me a couple hours. I mostly just did it because I was putting concrete in there. I didn't want something rotting over the time, so, but it'll dig it out with the Vermeer 925. It's a pretty good setup for small jobs. You know, it'll do bigger stuff too, but it's great for this backyard stuff. So there you go. So you can see all the roots over here. They're pretty big roots. That gives you an example of what, this must have been a pretty big pine tree, 2 of them. I've got one out almost. I'm gonna dig out the stump and show you that here in a second. And then this one over here, I still gotta dig out. So it just shows you how many roots are under the ground on a tree like that. Obviously this was on a mound, so they're all essentially above grade, but that's what I'm doing now for this customer, digging this out and gonna level this ground for him. So there you go, you can see this stump bucket dig out this big stump here. here's a good example of a stump grinding. Obviously these are above ground, but you can see where they this is the part that they ground out with a stump grinder. And typically when trees are at grade, they'll go below ground and you know, a few inches, and that's all they grind out. So you can see how much is still left under the ground from a tree like this. These are obviously big trees. That stump is probably at least 2 feet round, so these are pretty big pine trees that were planted here. But that shows you how big the roots are underground on a tree like this. I think that's interesting. And I don't know how many times I have people call me and they have a tree stump. They say that it was ground out, and I come and look at it, and it's got all these lateral roots. That's what you call lateral roots off the stump. And they have, I don't know how many times those are still showing or just below the surface. And you know, the tree company will come out and grind this little part of it, and that's it. So nothing against tree companies, it's just, that's the reality of it. So there you go. Pretty neat. I think it's amazing how much is underground on these trees that we don't see, and kind of get an idea of it there. There's the second stump. I got it loosened up. I'll show you how big it was in the ground. I'll pop it out of the ground there. I think this one's bigger than the other one. So. All right, there you go. Mound is gone. Nice and flat, raked out, ready for seed and straw. You can see the 2 stumps. There's 1, 2, and all the roots in here in the truck. Nice and smooth, ready for grass. Thanks for watching.